And we're back with our last segment with Dr. Bruce Brockway. Dr. Brockway, so you were telling me how what you decided when you decided to take on being a doctor. What were the roles that you decided to take on?
Well, the issue of trying to be effective was how do I encourage the individual to follow a regimen, to take their medications in a predictable fashion to benefit their health as much as possible. And so it included things like being an advisor, an educator, a coach, um, comforting fatherly individual to actually seeing if criticism may be helpful. I mean, how do we make things happen? Well,
Mm-hmm.
I very quickly discovered that the people who were criticized for not doing what they were supposed to didn't come back. they need to come. They not come see me for that, and so so that wasn't working at all. And more recently, I'm playing with cognitive behavioral approach, which is to pose a question for the individual to answer that may begin to change the mindset about what they need to accomplish. So, for instance, with respect to following a regimen for blood pressure, sugar, et cetera, to protect kidneys is something that may be as simple as how would you feel to find yourself with a requirement for dialysis for replacement of your kidney function, that your family then notes you're dealing with this on a daily basis with the thought that you could have done something about that. I mean, how would you feel? And then depending on the answer, approaching with other questions that establishes a mindset that may be a little more encouraging to
And that
the individual to
so that
to
sounds
doing
like
the right
you're
things.
encouraging the person to think through the process and come to their own conclusion, but nudging them along the way towards the right one.
Right, and there's nothing about it that's accusatory or threatening,
Right.
really.
Oh, that's good.
It's asking a question that they answer, and then responding to their answer to pose another question to influence how the mind is going to help them deal with what they need to do, recognizing the challenges of following diet, doing exercise, taking their medications, etc. It's kind of fun, and for that, I mean, everybody's a little bit different in how they think about life and deal with things. So it also becomes, in a sense, kind of a game to play.
With the patient.
Guessing what the personality may actually function like, in sort of this non-medical setting. If you're trying to figure out how they think about things at home or at work or whatever, and then utilizing that to help leverage a desired response in the individual that results in better preparedness to do what needs to be done.
That's a good approach. Like they're doing a lot of this behavioral health, and encouraging behavioral health. We do because it's the one thing that a patient can control, and you can change your physical outcome. You can change your physiology through behavior. You can do it. It's just it's it's not easy, but you can do it. It can be done. Like if it feels like we do a lot of pushing for the easy route, but the easy route is just not feasible in most things. There's not an easy way to lose weight. There's not a quick fix for anything that is taking you time to do. So if it's taking you a while to put on a bunch of weight, then don't expect it to take, you know, 60 days to drop it.
We have established habits that
Mm-hmm.
take some time.
It does. I want to say, in my case, it took me like 2 years, like 2.5 years to get the majority of the weight off. It took about 2.5 years. It was not a 60-day fix. It wasn't. I don't know who keeps putting out all this material that says in 12 weeks you could be a completely different person. That may be the case for somebody who doesn't have 100 or more pounds to lose. I don't know how quickly a person can drop weight, because they used to have these television shows where they had people on, and they were morbidly obese, as was I, and the trainers would help them and get everybody to lose a phenomenal amount of weight in 90 days. But unless you are willing to just like devote your entire life, like your job is just losing that weight, it's not gonna, and even then, I would need to have you in my back pocket and a personal trainer and somebody to cook for me. Like I would need like a group of of people as my dream team to even accomplish that. Whereas in real life, incremental changes would probably is the most effective way to try to execute losing weight, because you're going to have to live with the lifestyle you create for the rest of your life. It's not, now I'm 10 years into this. It's been 10 years since I started to lose the weight, about 8 years since I've had most of the weight off. So what I was doing had to be something that I could live with. It couldn't be something that I was doing, I was going to eat this way for the next 90 days and then do whatever. After that, it was, I literally had to change everything that I ate and continue down that path to keep it off. There was no way to do something other than that. I wish I could give people some silver bullet or a pill or whatever, but you can do everything. You can have weight loss surgery. I have taken pills. I have had surgeries. I have had all the things that every shortcut you can think of. I have tried it, and I know that the only thing that works is changing everything that you eat. Change what you eat and do it incrementally until it's not painful, until it's not mentally painful to do so. Can you tell us a little bit about what you see happening in Texas for kidney patients? Because we've got a lot going on. So what do you see as the most important stuff that we're doing?
Well, there's some coordination of issues related to kidney disease and actually what they call the comorbidities. It's the other organs that suffer because of the same process. that we're fortunate to have a governor that wants those issues evaluated and develop plans for dealing with the deficiencies that we have and perhaps the way we approach healthcare as individuals, as physicians, as nurses, as parents, but information that can be utilized to get better results for the Texas population. I mean, we have in Texas the fastest growing rate of kidney failure in the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
Most unfortunate. So we are in a situation where little changes may make much greater progress with respect to preventing ongoing damage, disease, and dialysis requirement. And I think his initiatives that he wants us to address are very important. I think we're looking at better things to come with regard to the care of our population.
Oh, I think the same thing. I was really proud of really proud of the team he's put together for fighting kidney disease and addressing how we will as a state, and proud of the fact that so many professionals here are really taking the time out of their schedule and their already busy lives to focus in on the kidney population here and what we can do better in every area that patients are facing, because we have to have both. We have to have the professionals looking at it, and we have to have the patients there helping them to see like some of the pitfalls that patients are facing, um, especially like the fatalism and how one overcomes fatalism, because some of that is cultural, so there are cultural factors within the Hispanic community, within the African American community, within the white community. What are the things that are within each one of our cultural backgrounds that are holding us back, or that are making us believe that this is that we have to go through this. So there's the symbiotic hand in hand that I see us building as a state with patients or patient representatives and professionals. I On the team there are doctors, there's there are nurses and dietitians. Everybody's uh, so across that professional spectrum of people who work with kidney patients, you have everyone
Mm-hmm.
uh, there thinking through the process of what needs to really happen, and that is great. So when I see that, I'm thankful on behalf of families like mine who are going through the throes of kidney disease, and especially during COVID-19, when so many people are dying from the comorbidities that are the underlying conditions that everybody talks about.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we buried four, so it's been a tough 8 months with this, but the hope is in you guys, uh, who are who have been tapped to actually make a difference. So I thank you for everything that you do, Dr. Brockway.
I appreciate that, Tiffany. You're very kind, and we are privileged to be where we are.
Yeah, we're privileged to have you, and have your expertise, and the fact that you're willing to lend us your ear after and your voice after 50 years of doing this and dealing with patients at every level. I mean, because that can be for somebody like you that has that level, that much longevity in the field. That's really great for your voice to be a part of shaping what happens next, because we need somebody that has some perspective in the rearview mirror to help us decide what goes on in the future. So thank you for everything that you do for patients like us.
Thank you.
And you've been listening to On the Record with Tiffany.